seed Mark Ceban and number 7 seed Liam Channon, who did get the better of the number 2 seed yesterday. All set for what could be a close encounter. The girls' singles finals to follow. That is between Holly Smart and Tegan Bush. Benjamin Gusick-Wan, the winner in this category last season with victory over the top seed on that day, Oliver Bonding. But especially noteworthy in recent times is that the current Wimbledon junior champion Henry Searle won this event in 2022. That is some inspiration. Coin toss complete, so we're ready to get underway. Richard Joyner is going to tell you a little bit more about both players as they begin the warm-up.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the right of the umpire is Mark Ceban, who's our top seed here this week at the National Junior Championship. Mark started playing tennis at the age of 6, lives in Forest Hill, London. Goes to Worcester Grammar School in Sutton. Mark reached number 1 in tennis Europe 14 under rankings in 2023. His career highlights so far include winning the 14 under Invitational Wimbledon event last year, won halves in 2023 on the back of winning the Grade 1 Bolton event the week before, and also won the ATP Invitational event in Pittsburgh last year. Now competing on the LTA Junior World Tour with a current ranking of 337. His interests and hobbies outside of tennis include reading, playing chess, and watching Formula 1 Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark Ceban. To the left of the umpire's chair is Liam Channon, who's seated 6th here this week with us. He started playing tennis at the age of 4. He's also a Surrey player, lives in Sutton and trains at Reed School. Age 15, Liam's career highlights so far include winning the national 14 under title on hard and grass in 2022, representing Great Britain at summer and winter cups at 14 and under and 16 under level, and also playing in the inaugural Wimbledon 14 under Invitational event in 2022. He reaches today's final after a marathon victory over Reece Lawler in yesterday's semi-finals. Hobbies and interests outside of tennis include football, Arsenal fan, the less you said about that the better, Fantasy Premier League and watching NBA basketball. Please welcome Liam Channon.
A battle of the seeds in both 16 and under singles finals today. And this one fielding 2 players who've come through fairly contrasting paths to make this point. Both received a first round bye. Mark Ceban since has rolled through his draw. He's only dropped a cumulative 9 games getting to this point. Straight sets wins in each of his 3 outings. Liam Channon with similarly straightforward progression through his opening 2 matches, including a win over the number 4 seeds Niall Picker-Barua in the quarterfinals, but as was just mentioned on court, was truly made to work for the most part on this court yesterday. The best part of 3 hours spent out here against Reece Lawler, the number 2 seed, who he knows very well. They played against each other growing up. That was a 7-6, 4-6, 7-6 victory. And if there wasn't enough drama, the rain kicked in at the beginning of the final set tiebreak. They had to move indoors and finish under the roof. So he had to show maturity there and commitment, Channon, to see things through. and should take some confidence from that. Luke Smith in the chair has just announced that Channon opted to receive at the beginning of this match, so maybe just testing out where Ceban is at. In these conditions, it is still a little blustery today. That is not unusual for the LTA's National Tennis Centre. We've seen that over the years here at the National Championships. But yesterday was particularly gusty, and Ceban did really well to get his win over Harrison McElnay in straight sets, 6-1, 6-1. That scoreline disguises some very tight games in that match. He edged them all. And the current winner of the 14 and unders event at the Championships Wimbledon itself is going to take some stopping today. Very familiar with his surroundings here, Ceban. He largely trains now at the National Tennis Centre. Was on court with Coach Alistair Filmer just before on the indoor courts, getting prepared for this match as the courts dried up. The breeze has helped with that. Cloudy skies, but a bit of sun. And we will take that for 16 and under singles finals day here at the Lexus Junior National Championships. Either Mark Ceban or Liam Channon will be joining a prestigious honor roll within the next couple of hours or so. Here we go. There's actually some serious history in Ceban's favour today. The last two champions of the singles event at the 16 and unders had won the doubles event in this category the year prior. Henry Searle, junior Wimbledon champion, doubles winner in the 16s in 2021, singles winner in 2022. Ben Gusikwan, doubles winner in 2022, singles winner in 2023. Steady hitting from Ceban, and he had to exhibit that last season when himself and Maximilian Carrier on these outdoor courts won the doubles trophy at the 16s Nationals. He's just managed to breeze the better of the two in that opening game, the 15-year-old Ceban. So he's answered the question posed to him by Channon when he opted to receive. The first of today's singles finals underway. Holly Smart and Tegan Bush to face off for the girls' trophy a little bit later on. So intentional, Ceban, when he saw the damage he'd done with the return, getting that ball in deep and measured. Couple of missed returns from the top seed, but he's making his intentions known by stepping right up to the baseline to receive. And that is going to have prolonged impact because it's just going to make Channon feel like he has to go for more early in these rallies, as we've just seen with the forehand. Early pressure on the number 7 seed. And that's the breakthrough for Ceban, who has only dropped a maximum 5 games in any one of his matches at Nationals so far. Has dropped just 2 games in each of his last 2 matches. That's the kind of form he's in. He's got such a good loose arm, Ceban, on that forehand side. Very consistent off that wing. You can expect him to go big on some second serves. He's done a very decent job early on of keeping Channon on the back foot. And he's got an opponent who likes to be aggressive. Isn't afraid to rip one down the line, particularly on the backhand side. Well worked, no panic from the number 7 seed. Pressure's off him today. He's up against the top seed. He had low expectations coming into this event. He's been managing an elbow injury for the last couple of months. Hasn't competed a lot this year. Clutch serving from Ceban. Teammate of Liam Channon's as recently as February when they competed in the Winter Cup, so there are no secrets on this court. maybe a bit of interference from the wind there. You can really hear it picking up. Not quite the levels of yesterday, but not far off at all right now. Very tricky. Oh, that's great play from Channon. First serve percentage has dropped for his opponent in this game, and he himself making a point to step right up for that second serve return. Ceban's not going to let him in, so he has to reach in and take the reins, assert himself. And Ceban has to adjust his second serve accordingly, think about how he's putting that ball into play. Just use the kick to get the missed time from Channon. Oh my. A magnificent length of shot on that forehand from Ceban, and when he lands that first serve, he's able to keep the ball on his forehand wing majority of the time. That's where he's comfortable dictating. Very big hold of serve for the top seed. Breakpoint saved there by Mark Ceban, and that sees him to a 3-love early lead at the first sit down. Training here at the LTA's National Tennis Centre. He's been around a lot of the game's greats of British tennis. Ceban, many of them based here. He's had some great opportunities in his young career. He's hit with Daniil Medvedev previously. And that's why the junior slams are of such importance for these players to get to inhabit the same spaces as the greatest tennis players in the world. See how they go about their business. Main draw wildcards for Junior Wimbledon on the line today. Such intentional returning from Ceban in this game. Even with that serve, a first serve, it went into Ceban's slot. Really had time to line up and unleash on the forehand. Suffocating pressure, really. And a fairly dominant looking double break lead if he's to make a mark in this set. And Channon really has to strike here and take his chances in hand. That's right. That is the play, and at a double breakdown, it can loosen up a bit, Channon. This is the tennis he's so capable of. Against Lawler yesterday, it was probably the differentiating factor. Just a little more intense than his opponent, a little more often, and able to get himself up on top of the court quicker. That's great ball striking. And a great option there for Channon as well. The deep ball into the body. Just taking the angle away from Ceban, giving him less to work with. A dangerous position has forced him to find some answers. Full throttle from Channon in that rally, and the task for Ceban there is just make him hit the extra ball, see if he can sustain. He'll feel that the second serve was too safe. Ceban, it was middle of the service box. Channon able to get right up to it. Pressure still on in this game. Must win for Channon. It's not a wonder the racket goes. That will feel like chance missed for Channon. Halfway up the court there, in position to take the return on. It's the right move to go for it. But particularly as the wind picks up, it's a tough line to tread. That's another test survived by Mark Ceban. He's faced 4 break points in total and rarely has the ball come back in those positions, switching up his serving spots nicely and maintaining a dominant lead at 5-love. Well, it's an illustrious honour roll at the Lexus Junior National Championships. If you pick up a title at this league of tournaments, you know you're doing something right, as Liam Channon does as the 14 and under singles champion in 2022. But it's actually the 16 and under event that has some of the most noteworthy names among former players to lift the trophy. And that is true across both the girls and the boys fields. Previous winners in this category: Jack Draper, Dan Evans, of course, current junior Wimbledon champion Henry Searle, and way back when, at the beginning of the 2000s, a certain Andy Murray. It's such a tough ask, particularly after the effort. The effort of the previous game, but for Channon, this is such an important game. If he's broken here and Ceban gets to serve first in the second set with the momentum he's got, he's going to be really tough to stop. Even if the set is unattainable, it's really key for the number 7 seed to just give himself something to build on. But Ceban still looks dialed in, not willing to give anything up lightly. Oh, nice shape. Previous point, Ceban tried to force his forehand a little bit, lent out of it. For Channon there, it was all about the feel, exposing Ceban's positioning and just looping that ball into the space. So that could prove to be a significant game in the long run, but it's on Ceban's racket. And it's a classically strong start. Oh my, the wind kept that in play. That could well have been floating long, but the direction of the huge gusts just dropping that ball into court. Ceban has to shrug that off and say too good. Whether he can do that is another question. Awkward return for him to deal with there. With the wind coming on from the side, having to play that ball on his backhand and still struggling for first serves. It's the third service game for Mark Ceban in which he's facing break point today. Will it be third time lucky for Liam Channon? Showing some resilience here. Oh, that's so classy and very brave from Mark Ceban. And that, as much as anything, tells you about the achievements he's had over the last year or two that have marked him out from the pack. Willingness to take it on, impose himself in a pressure point that Channon has no option but to step up in response and take a few chances. Great return there, forcing pressure on the less favoured backhand side of Ceban. He'll be looking for roots there. Oh, he's missed it. Some effort from the number 7 seed. In the third game of opportunity, he does get one of the breaks back. That first game he locked on the board, looking all the more significant. it's been a really positive week for Channon, whatever happens today. Cheered on yesterday by Hannah Klugman, winner in the 16s doubles and singles here last year. And Klugman, a fellow of Channon's. They both train at Reed School. Channon in the older academy, and they share a coach in Ben Harron, who is here and courtside today. And Greenhouse also coaching Channon. And it has been a testing season so far with the injury setbacks. You can see his elbow has been taped, his right arm, throughout the week, but on he goes. Getting to show off his athleticism a little now, Channon. Ceban with the right intention, looking to get on top of and up the court early. The number 7 seed has been able to penalise that a couple of times so far in this match, just catching Ceban out in the very forecourt. Rather not go toe-to-toe with him at the baseline, because the consistency of the Ceban forehand is winning a lot of those exchanges. Played a patient game there. The top seed just laid the foundations. Yeah, that's tough. The net cord working against him. Attempted some creativity, Channon, but back is against the wall here. Got to credit his willingness to go line with the backhand, Channon, but it's particularly tough on this windy day. And the margin for error that is usually lacking there is even more hard to come by. on this particular blustery finals day. It is Mark Ceban who takes the first big leg up, a 6-2 first set in his favour. He is one set away from joining the 16 and unders Junior National Championships on a roll. Already there, as mentioned, alongside Maximilian Carrier as doubles champions last year. It was Reese Lawler and Alexander Winder who added their names to that roll of honour yesterday. Both doubles finals taking place. Teodora Posadnikova and the girl who's going to play in the singles final a little later on, Tegan Bush, coming through in the girls doubles final. A really battling affair. 10-8 match tiebreak against Edie Griffiths and Isabella Walker. And then Winder and Lawler, as mentioned, getting it done against Casey Drake and Jessie Clarkson. On we go with the singles final. Ceban serving first. And he'll be grateful of this opportunity to serve first for a second straight set, because that first serve percentage was lingering for the top seed. A very low position in the opening set. It was giving Channon openings to step up and take the game on as the set progressed. It's a really positive start to this second set for Ceban. Strong first serves. And once again getting back to the basics of dictating with the forehand side. Ah, what a shot. Channon knows he's got to do a bit more than that with the length on the ground stroke. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, it just makes statements that if that ball is ever so slightly sat up out in front and the wind is helping with that, then Ceban will be all over it. a point. And for it to come on great break point as well, that really sets the tone for the rest of this encounter. Channon getting creative, great lob in there, looking for different ways to unsettle Ceban. And still he comes through with a well-timed forehand. Has to take these returns on now to re-establish himself in the match. Once again, it's unconditional assertiveness from Ceban, that attitude. It's going to take him a long way, and it already has done. He's won one of the biggest titles in junior tennis internationally at Tarbes at the beginning of last season. And defending champion at the 14 and under Wimbledon Invitational event, which has only been running for a couple of seasons. He is the most experienced player on this court right now, and he's been showing that so far. And there it is. For the second set in a row, it's a 3-love lead for Mark Ceban. And Liam Channon is going to have to reach deep and find some first serves in the next game to stay in touch and just see if Ceban falls off his perch. And that's possible. In the girls' semis yesterday, we saw Holly Smart with a significant set and double break leads on Freya Pete, who was fighting admirably, saved 3 successive match points, broke back. Smart did get a little bit tight, even though she played a brilliant match in those closing moments there. She didn't blink, so it's always possible. Yeah, and Channon showed some real resilience in that opening set. Let's see if he can do the same here. It's got to be a win thing there. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it's picking up, it swirls out here on the outdoor courts at the National Tennis Centre. It's almost as hard to judge off the ground when you've got a little bit more time on that ball. On top of the court, there's less space to play with. You've got to brush up the back of the ball that bit more. Tricky for Channon. That is a steely serve to see off the break point, though. A lifeline shot from the number 7 seed. How about the back-to-back? Added incentive to really go for those first serves, because when Ceban gets a look at a second delivery now, he's judging things much better in the conditions, often touching that ball down the line, so plunging his opponent onto the back foot. See, ball hit ball. And this is the tightrope right now. If Channon falls off, it's going to be very hard to get back on. Just too much momentum up the court to control that ball in the breezy conditions. Ceban keeps pushing for what could be a decisive breakthrough. Oh, and he backs himself again so consistently. He's backed himself to the forecourt. He's not won all of those points, but he's been very sure about his strategy. And that could be about to see him to a huge win. The top seed serving for the 5-love lead. They're set to the good in this 16 and unders Lexus Junior National Championships final. well measured, particularly in the gusts of wind today. Channon gripping on as he did in set 1. It's not a good sign. And the frustration is completely understandable, particularly with these younger players, but it's something for them to think about as they progress in the game. That is brilliantly wrestled by Liam Channon. Still alive in this 16 and under singles final. And a final is always a big deal. You just make the opponent think about what's in front of them and the work that's still left to be done. Touching on the drop of the racket, it's not even about the treatment of the equipment, it's about the message that you're sending down the other end of the court. It's a very obvious thing. Your opponent's going to draw on that, see that you're not in the best of mental states, that you are struggling. It's a betrayal, it's a giveaway. And right up to the top of the pro game, you see that having an impact in how matches are played out. Momentum swings at times. Yes, well held on by Channon, really aggressive second serve return, and that was asking a question by Ceban into the body, just making him play the ball. He's responding to the testing. And he's staying in touch once again. Really well worked by the number 7 seed, who won a 3-hour battle against the number 2 seed Reese Lawler yesterday. So he has shown that he is tough, and he will look to continue to show that as this final goes on. impressive from Ceban, just the confidence he's kept in the strategy that he's chosen. Whatever the scoreboard, he's playing this as if he is still up 3-love, 5-love in the set. Completely trusting himself to see this through across the finish line. The top seed continues to hold the reins of this match, and he's one game away from joining the honor roll at a set in 5-2. Ian Channon will serve to stay in the match. Already some very noteworthy achievements in the young career of Mark Ceban here at Nationals, at the Wimbledon Championships, on the wider international junior circuit. The higher ranked of these two on the ICF standings by several hundred spots. But this would be a particular achievement if he could get it done with some of the names that have won this title within the past decade, including Jack Draper, who's currently in the world's top 40. As much as he has backed himself to get up to the forecourt, Ceban has just got to be careful of when he makes those moves. Early portion of this game looking a little rushed, and it's Channon under all the pressure, serving to stay in the match at 7-5-2 down. You can work him a little bit from the baseline and just see where he's at. Measured with the return on that occasion. That is pressure telling, understandably so. And the moment has arrived. This is championship point for Mark Ceban. Whoa! And the top seed finishes up on top. Mark Ceban is the 16 and under singles champion at the 2024 Junior National Championship, sponsored by Lexus. Fantastic effort from the player who was at the top of the field and who did not drop a set on his way to joining a prestigious honor roll that features some very noteworthy British names: Dan Evans, Jack Draper, current Wimbledon champion Henry Searle, and Mark Ceban is new onto that list, deservedly so. Just 9 games dropped coming into this title match, and he ends his tournament with just 13 conceded. And Liam Channon showing resilience in both sets, battled, tried different things. But Ceban settled into the encounter, consistently got himself up the court in the second set, survived a lack of first serves in the opener. And Channon was responding a lot more than he would have liked. So we prepare for the trophy presentation. Initially we told you that the girls' singles final was to follow this one between Holly Smart and Tegan Bush, but very unfortunately Bush has had to withdraw from that match, so it is Holly Smart who will be joining the 16 and under singles honor roll on the girls' side. That itself fields some well-known names, including Harriet Dart, Hannah Klugman, who's currently practicing at the NTC across the way. She won the singles and doubles titles in this category last year, so Holly Smart takes over from there. Reigning 14 and unders champion in singles is Holly, and has won the last 2 editions of the doubles event in that category, so already making her mark in the 16s, and we'll be seeing a fair bit more of her at nationals. For Holly Smart and Mark Ceban, that is a wild card for Junior Wimbledon this season, guaranteed. And what an experience and an opportunity that will be for 2 hugely talented players. Nationals, such a great opportunity to see the fresh faces and the depth of the game here in the UK. A lot to be excited about in the coming years, and we'll see that again next week at the 18 and unders event, where wildcards for the qualifying events at the men's and ladies tournaments at Wimbledon, they are on the line next week, so the stakes just get higher. But a hugely successful week here for Mark Ceban and Holly Smart, and Liam Channon does not go unrewarded for his efforts, guaranteed to appear in at least the qualifying event at the Junior Wimbledon competition in 2024. So both finalists took quick exit of the court. We await their return for the trophy presentation. Lexus, Richard Joyner hosting the trophy presentation, and Ki Offavong, Billie Jean King Cup captain, and Jill Milne, tournament referee, both on court for the ceremony.
So before we present to the players, just a few thank yous on behalf of the tournament. Big thank you to our ball crew from New Orleans Club. It's part of the link that we have with the club, which is linked to the wildcards that we have on offer for the players. It's great that it has the ambience and the occasion for everybody, and helps get you extra bit of shape ready for the championships in a couple of months' time. So thank you very much to the team and to everybody involved. Apologies for the feedback. I think it's the reason, but apologies for that. Secondly, I'd like to thank all of our team of Concours officials who have ably been led by Darren Michaels here this week. We've had a good 5 days in range war. This is the first year that we've been in a position to be able to umpire all of the matches in range war, which I believe has made a real difference to the ambience, a real difference to the experience of the players everyone. So thank you very much for all of Darren's team. There's a few of us here that are here for a fortnight, so I'll do a few more thank yous then. But I would go and miss it. I'd like to thank the NTC operations team. Lee Myers is up there, looking at the ceremony. They go above and beyond. We're staying on site. I think it was 6 o'clock in the morning. They're already squeezing boards at that time. So Lee, on behalf of the tournament, to the NTC ops, thank you very much. And to our tournament team, I'll go through in one go. A big thank you to Jill Milne, our tournament referee, Nigel Smith, our physio, Peter Grimsdale, who's been with us on the control desk, to Peter Dalton, who's been doing our streaming. Thank you very much to all of you for your help this week and for the next week with the 1800s. So to our players, our runner-up of boys singles 16 and under, Liam Channon.
Much more to come for Liam Channon, the number 7 seed here this week. He took out the number 2 seed during his run to the final, and he is on the Junior National Championships on a roll as 14 and under champion in singles a couple of years ago. We will be seeing more of him. A very successful week with the injury setbacks he's had at the start of this season.
And our Lexus Junior National Championship 16 under boys singles champion, Mark Ceban.
History does repeat itself for the 3rd straight year. The winner of the doubles title in the 16s of the previous year lifts the singles trophy. Mark Ceban, champion in doubles in the 16s last year, champion in singles today, taking over from Ben Gusekwan last season and following in the footsteps of Wimbledon champion Henry Searle, crowned victorious in 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we don't have a girls 16 under final. Tina Bush, very sadly, has been ill overnight and unable to take place on court today. So we would like to present to our champion girls singles 16 under for 2024, Holly Smart.
There she is, Holly Smart, arguably on her way to this title with the run that she's had so far this week. Convincing straight sets defeat of the number 4 seed Freya Peat yesterday. Was set to take on number 3 seed Tegan Bush today, but unfortunately Bush forced to pull out. So your winners in the 16 and under category at the Junior National Championships this season, Mark Ceban and Holly Smart.
So ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our 16 under
So I've been Abigail Johnson taking you through the match today. I'll be back with you next week for the 18 and unders event. Thanks for joining us.